story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Martins Dixon. In our major story, scores die as Boko Haram unleashes terror on Damboa village in Borno State. Also in this program, members of the Chibok community in Abuja say they are not shocked by the latest Boko Haram attack on Damboa. Osun PDP in war of words with APC over the activities of State Boss, the youth wing of the ruling party. Outside Nigeria, United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon calls for full international investigation of the Malaysia Airlines disaster in East Ukraine.
Tonight in business news, Nigeria to peg inflation rate at 12%.
And sport tonight. Relief as FIFA lifts the much talk about suspension on Nigeria.
Thank you for joining us, and now the details. Many people have been feared dead after suspected Boko Haram gunmen attacked the town of Damboa, 85 kilometers from Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Eyewitnesses say half the town was burnt down, including the main market. A resident revealed that the attack was launched on Thursday night and lasted until the early hours of Friday. Damboa is reportedly deserted as many people have fled to neighboring towns. Boko Haram attacked the barracks in the town 2 weeks ago, killing several soldiers. The military had repelled that attack and killed at least 50 insurgents. Residents, however, say the town has been defended by vigilante groups since then. Members of the Chibok community in Abuja say they are not shocked by the latest Boko Haram attack on Damboa, a town located about 80 kilometers from Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. A representative of the community says at Friday's sit-out protest of the Bring Back Our Girls group that Boko Haram is almost totally in control of Damboa and its surrounding areas.
I'm sure it was reported here earlier, the attack on Damboa early this morning. In it, it was reported that the military tried twice to return to Damboa after they were dislodged by the terrorists last week, and they failed. They were repelled by the terrorists. The terrorists have taken over the road from Maiduguri to Damboa and by extension to Biu, and by extension up to Jos, because for our people in Borno, that's one of the ways. You cannot pass through Potiskum to Darazo to Bauchi. You cannot pass through Damboa to Biu, to Gombe, and to Bauchi, which is the major link to Jos. Some time ago, there was a fierce firefight between the military and these terrorists between Bauchi and Jos. Now that is very frightening. And the evil ring is going round and, becoming tighter and tighter and tighter. There is no flight to Maiduguri.
In a related development, members of the Bring Back Our Girls movement are not convinced about the federal government's sincerity on the $1 billion it is seeking for the war against insurgency. They also want the government to withdraw the image laundering contract award to a US-based public relations outfit, Lewick. Political activist Dino Melaye stated the group's position in an interview with CoreTV News in Abuja.
What I would just say is that we do hope that the presidency will raise this money and use it for the purpose for which they've asked that the money be raised. And the president should start first by withdrawing the $1.2 million they are using for image laundry and use it for the purpose of rehabilitating the parents and the victims of this satanic mishap. I do not believe in the transparency of government. This government has failed us in many instances. So I want to believe that the rehabilitation of this guy should be driven by the private sector.
Meanwhile, a public affairs analyst, Dipo Olayokun, has discouraged the idea of seeking the $1 billion loan to fight terrorism by President Goodluck Jonathan. Olayokun says the funds could be generated in Nigeria if leaders set their priorities right and desist from mismanagement of public funds.
I think there's a need for them to go and do their mathematics, let them look inward, because if you are taking loans, you are mortgaging the future of the current generation. Because this loan will be repaid maybe years back, after this government might even have left the scene, and Nigerians that are coming will be made to pay this loan back. I think they shouldn't go for this loan. Let them look inwards, harness resources within, and we'll be able to raise this money. After all, they have just left this man off the hook, Abacha's son, because they said there's a promise that the money that they looted, that they will be able to bring it back to Nigeria. We can take from this money, from this Abacha loot. There are so many things we can use to raise this to 160 billion naira so that we don't go for this foreign loan.
Alleged serial fraudster Fred Ajudua has lost his bid to stop his trial for allegedly defrauding a former chief of army staff, Ishaya Bamei, of $8.39 million between November 2004 and June 2005. The Lagos Division of the Court of Appeal dismissed Ajudua's application challenging the competence of the charge and the jurisdiction of the Lagos High Court. Ajudua, who was arraigned on a 14-count charge of obtaining by false pretense, had filed notice of preliminary objection in which he argued that the proof of evidence did not disclose any case against him. Justice Atinuke Ipae had dismissed the objection, but Ajudua subsequently appealed against the decision of the trial court. At the hearing of the appeal, he contended that the lower court, when it held that he could be tried under the Repealed Advance Fee Fraud and Other Related Offences Act of 1995, he also maintained that the proof of evidence did not support the charge, but in a unanimous ruling, the Court of Appeal affirmed the decision of the trial court that the charge was competent. In spite of opposition from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Nigeria is on the verge of having an autonomous financial intelligence center. This was after the Senate passed a bill setting up the center this week before going on recess. Although the EFCC is opposed to an autonomous center, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Financial Crimes says it's a well-thought-out move.
EFCC, which by law is an enforcement agency, is also saddled with the responsibility of collecting information, which necessarily can be useful to other agencies. If something is in my pocket and you ask me for it, I can only bring it out at my own discretion. Do you agree with me? Good. So, before now, information at the disposal of EFCC were only accessed by the agencies at the discretion of the EFCC.
The strike embarked upon by the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria is already biting harder. The development has left courts across the country underlocked and deserted. Oluwaseyi Adegoke visited some courts in Lagos and returned with this report presented from our studios.
The situation at the Lagos High Court and the Federal High Courts both in Ikeja tells the story as activities remain paralyzed following the ongoing strike by the judiciary workers. The union is protesting the federal government's non-compliance with the orders of the court on financial autonomy and independence of the judiciary. A Lagos-based lawyer, Justice Ihuegbu, says the industrial action is wrongly timed.
It's so unfortunate in Nigeria that Nigerians will wake up one day and discover that one body or the other is on strike without adequate notice, without adequate information, without carrying people along. No, does it mean the union do not have a public relations department that should satisfy people? At least the doctors even went on a warning strike before embarking on this one, but there was nothing such. And my problem is that these are the two major key sectors in the country: the medical association and the judiciary. And once these two bodies are dormant, the country cannot move forward.
He added that the strike has paralyzed activities in courts across the country.
As I speak to you now, so many people are languishing in jail. People that are supposed to have given bail. What about people that have critical condition in various cells and prisons that need court order to be taken away from there and all the rest? Everything is grounded. It's affecting the poor masses directly. Because when you embark on strike, definitely you want to achieve a purpose. You have a target. Now your target, is it to punish the masses or to reach the government? If you want to reach the government, it's not by punishing the masses.
The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, however, insists the strike is its last option to press home their demands.
Nigeria's prison authorities have promoted over 50 officers and men across the country. Some of the newly promoted officers were decorated with new ranks at a ceremony in Abuja. Comptroller General of Prisons Zachary Ibrahim used the opportunity to charge the promoted officers to rise up to the contemporary security challenges in the country. Pius Samuel has details.
These officers and men of the Nigeria Prison Service have been found worthy in the discharge of their duties. They have come from all parts of the country to be decorated with new ranks in Abuja. For this newly promoted Assistant Comptroller of Prisons in charge of Zone D in Mina, there is a lot more to be done in the next assignment.
As the society is evolving, crime is also evolving. Therefore, I see this promotion as a call to duty, as a call to spur me to explore the avenues and the techniques, modern techniques on handling crime, so that those of our brothers that are unfortunate to have gone against the law will be brought to rectitude.
The prison service has several challenges, but this officer is sure that the service has what it takes to overcome them.
Quite a number of challenges, because promotion goes with greater responsibilities to ensure greater security in my zone, in the prisons within my zone. So all these things are challenges. I know more is required of me, more is expected, and I need to arise to the occasion and to ensure that I do not disappoint.
As prison authorities continue to make sure that inmates are secured in the prisons, they also want those in charge of the judiciary to enhance speedy delivery of justice. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
You're watching CoreTV Primetime News live from Lagos. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll give you a story of a noise in Osun State between the APC and PDP over a youth political group after this timeout.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Nigerians continue to tonight, the city of Lagos went and dark as all routes to you.
Be the first to know.
CoreTV News
from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news spreads. We are CoreTV News.
Welcome to CoreTV,
a 24-hour news station.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Good to know you're still there. The activities of the youth wing of the All Progressives Congress, otherwise known as State Boys in Osun, have been causing more ripples between the ruling APC and its major opposition, the PDP. The APC claims the State Boys have been law-abiding, even as the PDP insists that the group is another code name for armed thugs of the ruling party. Rashid took up the party chieftains in Oshogbo and filed in this report.
As arguments rage over their status and activities, the fact remains clear that State Boys are actually in existence in the state and also card-carrying members of the All Progressives Congress. The deputy governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Adejare Baldo, branded the State Boys as thugs used by the APC in perpetrating violence. But the chairman of All Progressives Congress in Osun, B. Adelowa, however, countered Adejare's position.
The incumbent government is reiterating the State Boys issue. There is nothing like State Boys other than thuggery, and we will not allow that to happen.
The State Boys are just youth wing of the party. They are not armed with anything. They follow us to police rallies to be part of the rally and as youth wing of the party.
Again, Adejare fires another salvo, accusing the APC of stockpiling arms and ammunition for use by State Boys during the August 9 governorship election. This obviously did not go down well with Adelowo.
They are stockpiling arms. They have brought arms into this state to be used by State Boys, and we will not take kindly to that. We pretend as if we don't know anything, but by the time security people arrive, we will let them know we know what is going on.
The State Boys are not armed at all. They are not stockpiling any ammunition. The police will go and investigate.
The severity of the verbal war is not lost even on the ordinary political observer, as Bello vowed to use all means to check the activities of the boys, but Adelowo hits back and asks the PDP to look inwards.
Our own is to make sure we try to locate where they are and we point to them, the security agents. So if you hear hues and cries thereafter that they are arresting people,
don't just harass people and intimidate people unless they become allegations. Go to their houses, check if you see anything of them, then you can make a report. Nobody's going to find anything because that is what they do on their own.
As the brickbats continue between the two heavyweights, the governorship candidate of Alliance for Democracy, a former National Assembly member, Sunday Fajibi, says peace in Osun is being threatened by both APC and the PDP, and they must be called to order.
One has gone to train his thugs in Cuba. It's well known. The other one has trained locally. They bought guns and stored guns. I'm a marksman myself. I'm a licensed arms carrier. We know what is going on. Wasiu Ayinde was here. They vandalized his instrument. They killed 2 people. They went to Ife. They killed 5 people. When are we going to stop all this? I'm concerned because they killed my senior brother like that in 2003 when I was going for re-election. And when are we going to stop all this?
As clockwatch ticks towards August 9, security, in the words of the power that will be tightened ahead the governorship poll. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
As the proposed local council creation in Ekiti State continues to generate heat, the State Independent Electoral Commission has fixed a date to conduct referendum on the issue. The leadership of the commission addressed journalists in Ado Ekiti. Rashid has the report.
Defying protests that have greeted the creation of additional 18 local council development areas from the existing 16 local governments in the state, the Ekiti Independent Electoral Commission has set out its guidelines for the conduct of the constitutionally required referendum in the 16 local governments where the new local councils will be carved out.
We are not to entertain these ones, but to forward them to the House of Assembly where they are going to take the final decision. It is not for SIEC to look into the agitations. The limit of our work is to do the referendum.
Law mandates SIEC to conduct referendum to ask the people whether they are in favor or against the creation of additional local government.
Adelusi explains that the commission has trained ad hoc staff for the smooth conduct of the referendum.
Concerning the case, even though no information was given to us from the plaintiff, we knew that the judgment had been decided in our favor, and that's what we are acting upon.
The Ekiti State PDP leadership thus expresses dismay on the development.
This SIEC is not known to law, and if they are now doing anything, it's an act of illegality. We have also gone to court again, stopping this recklessness.
It's an illegal action, a legal activity that will not stand the test of time.
Surely, the last may not have been heard of the dramas surrounding the local council creation. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
The Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Benjamin Dickey, has urged Nigerians to be patient with government in its attempt at increasing power supply in the country. Dickey spoke with journalists against the backdrop of complaints that the power sector has not recorded sufficient difference even after it has been handed over to private investors. The power sector was handed over to private investors in November last year with the aim of improving electricity supply to boost socio-economic development. The BPE boss also urged labor unions to desist from blaming the generation and distribution companies on the delay in getting the desired results in the sector. He, however, noted that vandals had blown up gas pipelines supplying gas to power generation stations, but added that government was trying to fix the problem. Nigeria is set to peg interest rate at 12%. Join us for details of these and more in our business segment with Sabina Exopo after this break.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
Hello there, you're welcome to the world of business with me, Sabena Izoku. The Central Bank of Nigeria says it will leave interest rates unchanged for the 17th time in a row next week as it tries to balance controlling inflation and supporting the naira with fostering growth. Monetary Policy Committee (NPC) meeting held on Tuesday will be the first chaired by the new Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele and will closely watched by the foreign investors and analysts. Apex Bank Governor Tone, on raised 2 days after taking office in June, says he will seek a gradual reduction in borrowing costs, which will have been stuck at 12% since late 2011. Emefiele has since said he will wait until presidential elections next year before making any rate cut, and all 20 analysts in the past week expected NPC to keep the benchmark rate steady at 12%. Inflation in Africa's biggest economy rose to a 10-month high of 8.2% in June, closer to the central bank's upper limit of 9%, after rising for 4 straight months this year on high food prices and excess liquidity. The Central Bank of Nigeria also plans to sell 134.88 billion naira in treasury bills, with maturities ranging between 3 months and 1 year. The bank says it will issue 34.88 billion naira in the 3-month treasury bills, 48 billion naira in the 6-month paper, and 52 billion naira in the 1-year debt notes. Nigeria issues treasury bills as regularly as twice monthly to manage the money supply in the economy and curb inflation. The auction result is expected to be released the following day. The Infrastructure Bank PLC has recorded a profit before tax of 875 million naira in 2013 compared with the 82 million naira achieved in 2012. The chairman of the bank, Lamis Diko, who disclosed this at the bank's 3rd annual general meeting in Lagos, says the bank's total expenses in 2013 stood at 757 million naira as against 586 million recorded in 2012. He attributed the growth to the bank's strength of transaction, advisory, offering, and well-managed operational cost. According to him, the bank remains optimistic on the economic outlook, with all the indicators projecting continuous growth trend of the past decade. Diko also said Nigeria had continued to attract high level of foreign direct investment in spite of the nation's insecurity challenges, which will further drive high growth rates in industry and agriculture sector of the economy. Diko added the reforms and investment will be the key enabler for the growth and provisions of improved and increased infrastructure. Remittances via money transfer in the sub-Saharan Africa will grow exponentially to more than $100 billion by 2017, with Nigeria alone accounting for more than half. Research says more than 73 billion naira sent via money transfer in the region in 2012 now projects growth at a double-digit rate over the next 5 years. Analysts say this offers considerable opportunity for the visa, which benefits from remittance flows, disbursement flows, and prepaid cards in the market. By 2017, Nigeria will account for $55.8 billion in remittances, Kenya $27.5 billion, and South Africa $17.6 billion. This will be an increase from the $19 billion in the 2012, when this class made up 20% of the total remittance market. Visa has started work with banks and retailers on the continent to open more than corridors for consumers to push remittance by lowering costs to them. The federal government has commenced move to tackle unfair business practices in its determination to provide a fair and competitive environment for industry, trade and investments. The Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, Olusegun Aganga, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Abdul Kadir Musa, who disclosed this in Abuja, noted that the new policy will forestall the new emergence of private monopolies, cartels, engender fair trade, and ensure that Nigerian consumers get value for their money. Aganga stated the needs and benefits of the national policy for competition and consumer protection, which include encouraging enterprise, innovation, efficiency, and widening of choice. He explained it is the urgent need to spell out a policy framework to regulate consumers' protection and competition issues that compel the federal government to come up with a new competition and consumer protection policy. And on the stock market report, equity transaction on the Nigerian Stock Exchange floor ended on a bearish note today. The Nigerian Stock Exchange All Shares Index depreciated by 26.70 points to close lower at 42,891.82 basis points. Market capitalization decreased 0.06% to close lower at 14.16 trillion naira. In all, a total of 374 million shares valued at 3.20 billion naira were exchanged in 4,778 deals. Report shows that Mobi PLC topped the gainers chart, followed by Guinness PLC, NNFM PLC, CCNN PLC, and Pizzit PLC. On the other hand, Can Oil PLC led the losers chart, followed by Julius Berger PLC, Owando PLC, Nigerian Brewers PLC, and UAC Properties PLC. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. And that's it on business news. Coming up next is the world of sports with Brownson Uwadam. Stay with us.
Nigerians continue to tonight, the city of Lagos once again has all roots.
Be the first to know.
CoreTV News
from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are CoreTV News.
Welcome to CoreTV.
A 24-hour news station.
A very big thanks for joining us on Sport News tonight. I am Brownson Uwana. The World Football Governing Body, FIFA, has formally lifted the suspension clamped on Nigeria as a result of a court order which stopped the Aminu Megari-led NFF committee from managing the affairs of football in Nigeria. The official lifting of the ban was signed by FIFA Executive Secretary Jerome Valke and addressed to NFF President. The NFF spokesman Ademola Olajire says in a statement that FIFA indicated its satisfaction that Nigeria has complied with the demands for the restatement into international football. The lifting of the suspension means the under-20 women national team, the Falconet, can now travel to Canada next week. Also, the under-17 boys are expected to fly to Democratic Republic of Congo for a 2015 African under-17 Championship qualifiers on July 27. And away from that to international football, Bayern Munich star Philipp Lahm has revealed his shock decision to retire from international football in the wake of Germany's World Cup success. The 30-year-old captain his national side in the just concluded World Cup in Brazil. Lahm will not play a role in Germany's hunt for more silverware, however, having told head coach Jianchen Loh that he is no more available for selection. Lahm, who has captained Germany since permanently replacing Michael Ballack in 2011, made his official Germany debut in a 2-1 win over Croatia in February 2004 and has since developed into one of Germany's undisputed players. And that's a wrap on Sport News tonight. My name is Brownson Uwana Martins Dixon. We'll be back with the rest of the stories. Stay with us.
CoreTV News presents a platform with presence in over 30 states of the Federation. Be sure to be had. For live coverage of events, we have the capacity to deliver from anywhere in Nigeria and beyond. Contact us now on 0803 471 8550 or 0803-724-9733, 014-533-407.
Our 24-hour news station.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us on CoreTV Primetime News. And now outside Nigeria, United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has called for a full international investigation of the Malaysia Airlines disaster in East Ukraine. Ban Ki-moon says there is need for a full, transparent and international investigation. He offered condolences to the victims' families. Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 carrying nearly 300 people from Amsterdam en route Kuala Lumpur crashed earlier in rebel-held eastern Ukraine near the Russian border, with Kiev saying it was shot down in a terrorist attack. U.S. officials say it was shot down by a surface-to-air missile, but it was unclear who fired the weapon. Britain has also called for a UN-led investigation and is seeking an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council to discuss the crisis in eastern Ukraine.
With respect to the Malaysia Airlines disaster today in Ukraine, I'm closely monitoring the reports, along with the International Civil Aviation Organization or United Nations agency. There is a clear need a full and transparent international investigation. I offer my deep condolences to the families and loved ones of the victims and people of Malaysia.
This is where we wrap it up on CoreTV Primetime News today. On behalf of the entire production crew, I am Martins Dixon, wishing you a blissful evening.